Friday, March 3rd, episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Yeah, Morning Coffee and Cat in this case. Ralphie was in an ornery mood last night, gave me a great idea for a thumbnail. I hope everybody's doing good today. It is Friday. We are well underway into March, Irish American Heritage Month. Hope you guys liked the video yesterday. Of course, there will be more coming out uh, all month long. I am tearing up the internet looking for interesting stuff to put up. Man, I'll tell you what, ever since linking into all of my subscribers or everybody I'm subscribed to, I, I, I think my devices are getting too hot. Let's see who's here already. Let me see here. I know Santee's here. There is Tony Lee. Mr. York is here. Let me see. Let me see. Come on. Don't get all freezy up on me here. Bloody thing. Yep, I know. All snap. Something went wrong because you suck balls. Thank you, Internet. Now I got to go back through and I got to reset to live chat. Give me a second, guys. We got that storm rolling in. It's moving super slow. It's coming up through Indiana right now. It's probably only moved 50 miles all night long. It was supposed to start at 7 o'clock this morning. They backed it clear off till noon. It's about 60 miles south of us right now. Looking like it's going to be a very interesting couple days. 61 degrees the other day, and tonight, and tomorrow, ball shivering weather. All right, let me see here. We were at Mr. York. There's Lady C. There is Jan. Good morning, ladies. You're looking lovely this morning. Got, my gosh, we got the UK, we got Illinois, we got Arizona, we got Texas, we got Ohio. They're all in here this morning. You just up and said what, dude? You just up and said what? Don't start with me. I got way too much sleep last night. I will crawl through this thing and beat the snot out of you this morning. Mine was just freezy uppy too. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was scrolling down through the chat, just all of a sudden it locked up, the picture froze. I'm like, holy crap. Don't start with me. I hope you guys are all doing well this morning. Like I said, it's Friday. Not that it matters to some of us who just recently changed jobs and has to work on the weekends, but you know who I'm talking to. Good morning, Stephen. Hope you're doing well this morning. I am still waiting for that karaoke video to pop up on your channel, bud. Yeah, I know who you're talking to. It's the only sad thing about changing jobs, but granted, you deserve the job change. You love the job change. So I'm sure putting in that little bit of Saturday hours don't hurt your feelings too much. 60 yesterday, snow today. Yeah, yesterday was chilly. I mean, it didn't get as warm as they said it was going to get here yesterday. Um, we were supposed to get up to 58 yesterday. We wound up only getting up to like 38 yesterday. And then this thing started moving up through Indiana, and it's sitting like probably 25, 30 miles south of South Bend right now and coming straight up at us. Oh, and before the threats, just remember my guns shoot real bullets, and I have a lot of them. Damn, dude, I just threatened to crawl through the computer and beat the crap out of you. It's not like I was threatening your life or nothing. Christ on a cracker jack, dude. Good morning, all. Good morning, Freedom. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Tony York, a lot of guns and a lot of bullets and a lot of BS. I would like to go out and shoot with Tony sometime, just for the giggles of it. I mean, this eye might be all blurry and stuff like that, but I get me an actual operating long gun again. I might be able to start working on my left eye since it's still in decent shape, using that as my primary eye. We're supposed to get moderate storms this afternoon, raining now. Yeah, we're not getting anything right now. We're not getting anything right now. Just cold. I think we're sitting at like 31 right now. Of course, we had to let the Kitlins out this morning to do their running around. They were out there practicing stalking birds a little bit ago, which was absolutely hilarious because the only thing they ever stalk is a mouse with a tail you pull and it lays on the floor and shakes and rattles and stuff like that for like 5 seconds. So watching them out there trying to stalk a bird was absolutely hilarious. People are killed by beatings every day. I don't beat that hard. It's more of a, hey dude, I love you kind of beating. It's not like, hammer or a baseball bat or something like that. Late morning, rather go to midnight, 2 a.m. Don't really mention how many guns I have. It isn't a huge number by today's gun nut. No, it's not. It's not. I do have somewhere north of 150,000 rounds of ammo. Got a homeless guy shot in the middle of the street a couple of days ago. I try to stay out of that. If it's a police officer or a firefighter or something like that, I'll listen to the story. But if it's just a normal, there's just too much of it. I can't keep track of it all. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Candy. Good to see both of you this morning. I bet it's a higher number than 0. Oh man. But yeah, I've been really, really sticking it out on these Irish American Heritage Month videos, guys. I found some really cool stuff. Hey Ty, good morning, bud. Hope you're doing good. I I've been working. I was working yesterday. Actually, I just set one for upload yesterday. Let me see here. Where are we at? We just done the shared power of Ireland and Scotland. I got the Banshee coming up on Sunday. I've got the Doulahan, the true story of St. Patrick, Hy Brasil, the Norman conquest of Ireland, the legend of the leprechaun. I have got all kinds of stuff coming out for Irish American Heritage Month. It's something I take a huge interest in, being of Irish descent myself. You know, um, and I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun with it. Like I said, as you can tell by the thumbnail, me and Harry are having fun with each other, picking back and forth. So Don't forget to show love, support, liking. Up those algorithms. Yeah, we need the algorithms up. That's for sure. I saw an older gent with a claw like yours around his neck. I asked him what it was. He said my ex-wife's toenail. I'm gonna have to remember that. I bought enough ammo to last me my entire life during the Trump slump. 73 in Alabama. I know Ty mentioned Southeast or mentioned Iowa. Where was that at? What was it up there? What was it up there? 32 in South Central Iowa. Going to be heading your way in about 3 hours, Drew. Hope trying to stay ahead of the storm. Hey, Fish. Good morning, bud. Um, yeah, I've been watching it, Sean. It's creeping up through Indiana right now. It was actually down by Indianapolis last night, or a little bit south of Indianapolis, when I went to bed at midnight. And then I actually, believe it or not, guys, I slept for 6 hours this morning. I got up like 3 minutes till six. I don't know what the hell's wrong. I must be getting sick or something to sleep for 6 hours. But I got up. First thing I did was checked it. It was up about 30 miles south of South Bend. So it's only actually gone probably 60, 50, 60, 70 miles overnight. So it's going to be a slow moving storm, and they're calling for 45 to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. They are calling for a wet, sloppy, disgusting snowfall. Um, Up to 7 inches of snow from the storm, and then lake effect snow all night tonight and tomorrow. So God only knows what this place is going to look like come Sunday morning. It's probably going to look like it did, when we got that 16 inches of snow early in the winter. Frickin' Mother Nature and her menstrual cycle. Good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you this morning. Supposed to get bad tornadoes in Kentucky. Yeah, I heard there was some severe storms brewing down south. So she's a fickle old girl this year. I don't know what it is with Mother Nature. I still think we need to go out and get her one of those great big, like 5 pound Hershey bars, a box of Midol, and just station somebody there to put a cold compress on her head and, rub her hand, rub her feet, whatever it takes, and just chill her out a little bit. Doctor's appointment went good yesterday for the youngest. She will have her surgery on the 13th. Cool. Normal for March, global warming. Hershey went woke. Might want to be sure not to piss her off. Hey, that time of the month with my daughter, you bring her chocolate. My wife actually found something the other day that was on clearance. It was like super, super cheap, it's like 75 cents, but it's a bag of white chocolate and sprinkle covered mini marshmallows. And that kid went ape crackers. She's like me. She likes white chocolate. And boy, she saw those things, and that whole mood changed. I mean, she went from two in like 2.2 seconds. Um, my internet's only happy when it's buffering, I think. Get her laid? Well, I thought about that, but Father Time is busy. Movie, rich. Our phones are woke. Let's throw them in the trash. And white chocolate part, not sprinkles and marshmallows. I actually tried one of them. They're really good. I mean, their marshmallows are probably only about that big. They're about the size, about twice the size of a gumdrop. The little gummy candy with the sugar all over it. But then they got that coating of white chocolate, and they got them different colored sprinkles. I tried one, and it's like I'm not a big marshmallow fan. Well, I like Peeps. I love Peeps, but these were actually good. Um, Getting there with today's world. Yep. Me and Casper are supposed to mail out cookies next week, Mr. Tyler. We're making them this Sunday and going to mail out Monday if possible. Ooh, nice. Um, I can get my hands on some more peanut butter. I've been thinking about making some peanut butter no-bake cookies. We got plenty of cocoa. I got 2 big containers of oats. Um, Normally I have peanut butter, but that's my number one snack. Um, not a lot of peanut butter left. Of course, people are still bringing us food like canned goods and macaroni. Um, Probably got 40 boxes of macaroni and cheese in a bloody cabinet right now. There's only so many ways you can cook macaroni and cheese. Oops. I just hated those demonic looking things. Let's do a reset and get rid of the internet. Yeah, but, think about it. If it wasn't for the internet, a lot of us would have never met. So, our daughter's making scones today. Oh, very cool. I love a good scone. Reset. How about it? He's supposedly in charge. There you go. Have to wait till after the surgery to open them, or she'll eat all of them. Yeah, that's exactly what she needs is cookie crumbles up inside an open surgical wound. I'm not a Peeps lover. I I like the Peeps only because I watched my mom growing up with the Peeps and the little peanut butter, the little marshmallow chocolate covered eggs you get at Easter. And she would go out after Easter and she would buy all of them at the store she could find. And then she'd take them and stick them in the freezer. And, they'll get kind of, sort of, almost, but not quite like super hard. And then all year long, my mom gets in the mood for a marshmallow or something like that. She'll grab it out of the freezer and just clench it in her teeth while she's cleaning the house or something like that. And as it slowly defrosts, then she's munching on them. So, and I do the same thing. I put them in the freezer, and now, yeah, Freedom just mentioned M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms. Oh yeah, that is my ultimate favorite. I will, I will, I will shank a mofo for a family bag of peanut butter M&Ms. Straight up, I will beat them with a trash can lid, and I will steal their M&Ms. I love me some peanut butter M&Ms. And since I've learned to eat sparingly when it comes to the sweets, then you don't have to eat an entire bag of them at one time to enjoy them. You can enjoy a handful of them and up and save them for later. Good morning, Rusty. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Now I have to admit, Tony Lee, I would love to try some of the candies and stuff that you guys have over there. I have. watched many English and Irish and Scottish YouTubers that try American food, American snacks and stuff, and I've noticed that, at least I've picked up, that your chocolate is not as sweet there as ours is, or it's a different kind of chocolate, or the preparation's different, or something. And I would really like to try. Not to mention, you guys have a whole different array of snacks and sweets and stuff over there than what we have here. And I'm all about trying different international things. Let me see here. Around here, Amish everywhere, up and down the highway. They don't get hit around here. I think someone is showing all their felonious intents today. I'm just in a mood today. Like I said, I got too much sleep last night. Saw Amish horse and buggy get plowed into by cops and not paying attention. Cop car dash cam. I put the horse down, injured 3 of the 6 people. Bad people don't pay attention. No, I mean, right here where I live at, we have a lot of Amish just southeast of us. And if you guys remember right, one of our Amish friends that, built custom guns, done coppersmithing, tinsmithing, he was killed on his bicycle just a few years ago. And I mean, it's a road where people move up and down, where Amish move on their bikes and stuff constantly. And somebody was playing on their damn phone and looked down and plowed Freeman from behind, killed him instantly, just dilapidated his bike, and then wound up getting off with a smack on the wrist because he said that, a car swerved into his lane to avoid an Amish person going the opposite direction, and he swerved over right as the car passed Freeman, and he hit him. And so, yeah, it later came out, stories abound about this guy constantly being on his phone talking, and yeah, asses need to pay closer attention. The most popular chocolate here is very probably Cadbury. Oh, I love Cadbury's. I love Cadbury chocolate. Our daughter ordered Japanese sweets online. She's adventurous. They don't need shy people. Shy people just need to pay attention. I don't know of a horse ever being hit by a car around here, let alone buggy. Here too, I'm sure. Paid money for them. I had Hershey bar once. Really liked it. I was an avid cyclist for years. People do not pay attention. No, they don't. No, they don't. The one nice thing about it here is they make our roads a little wider, so then the bike lanes on each side are, instead of only being 2 feet, some of them are 3 or 4 feet. So, I mean, you really got to cross that solid line to get into their lane. People still do it, though. The Amish don't want to obey man's law, but think it has to do with money. Plus, they shouldn't have to if people would just pay attention and take care. Yep. Yorkshire. I was wondering exactly where in England you were from. Yorkshire. Very cool. Now, where is Yorkshire on a map from London? I mean, I know London's like, southeast portion. of the country, but where is Yorkshire compared to proximity to London? The Amish ways are going to die out. Man, I'll tell you what, I really hope not. Because I have a lot of respect for the Amish being able to hold on to their old ways, in a modern world. Famous Texan gunfighter Ben Thompson hailed from Yorkshire. Hmm, interesting. I did not know that. Oh, no, they might be saving grace and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yorkshire is about 300 miles north of London. Okay, okay. I got a roundabout. My friend that's coming over next month lives. I think he said 90 miles northwest of London. Yeah, that's right. Here, probably in about. I think if I remember correctly, here in about 5 weeks, um, 6 weeks, 5 weeks. Um, you guys will be seeing my pal Alan, probably in some of the live streams. He'll be here for round about 2 weeks again, like he is every time he comes over. I wish I could afford to take 2 week vacations. Hell, I've not had a vacation in 10 years, except, my general life. But, with him working for safety sector of the Royal Mail, he gets pretty good vacation. So I'm afraid you know. Good luck with that. Town of York is a medieval walled city. I think York is, if I remember correctly. Well, it's long gone now. One related to all those English Yorks. It has done me little good. Used to know Rusty in Maryland. Not a common name. Already lose Ken. Gotten me any plot. It's the last vacation I took. I mean, real vacation was in 1990. The last real vacation I took, I think I was, well, I mean, if you want to consider Gettysburg with Mark and his wife and Christy back in 2020, that was more like a workcation. It was only 2 days. It was more like a workcation. We went out there to film and everything else. But I mean, the last vacation I took, I think I was 13, 12 or 13. So you're talking 40 some odd years ago. Tell Drew about Wednesday. Oh, this should be good. When you guys connive and keep secrets, they're always fun. Um, Drew, how do you like the new bag of coffee? It's actually really good. I know that everybody wanted me to go with the just black, but since I have to work for that coffee and grind those beans, I went on and I went with the loyalty roast, woof woof, black lab. It's actually really good, and I mean it's another light roast. Um, Now, granted, since I've not got a lot planned this weekend, I'll probably go out there and grind that bag of beans up and get it ready to use next time around. But Because our grinder don't hold a lot of beans at a time, so I got to find something big enough to pour all the beans in, then grind a palm full of beans at a time and pour them back into the bag. So I had to work for it. Went to Florida last summer, going again, so relaxing. Florida's where people go to die. I'm still waiting for someone to put a great big sign on the interstate going into Florida, right on the Florida line. Welcome to the largest retirement community in the world. Have a beautiful day. Blessed. You too, Freedom. Take care, sweetie, and we'll talk to you later. Um, must be popular as they didn't have any of that on the shelf when I was there. New illness, it's like sun poisoning. Arbuckle is great. Wednesday, I'm going to meet in person one of my cowboy friends. Very cool. Very cool. Which one, Rusty? Don't tempt me. Home of the fruitcakes. Uh, uh, Will Roberts. God, that name sounds familiar. Will Roberts. Will Roberts. I'm going to have to look him up. That name sounds familiar to me. I don't know why it would sound familiar to me. I don't know a lot of, I know Oral Roberts. I knew a Kim Roberts. Don't know Will Roberts. Gun trick artist, roper, actor. Okay. Three-time Guinness Book of World Records holder. Okay. All right. Very cool. Congrats, bud. You deserve a little time away. Julia Roberts' dad. Ah, no clue. Very cool. Now, see, that's a vacation. That's like to me a vacation. Even if it turns into being a little bit of a workcation. To me, a vacation is going off and spending time with a friend, either a friend you've spent time with before, someone you've never wanted to spend time with, you know, stuff like that. To me, a vacation would be coming to Jersey, um, to spend time with Rusty, or going down to Georgia to spend time with fishing, or going to Ohio to spend time with Jan and Jay, going to Arizona to spend time with Santee and Dan and everybody. So, like I said, they'd probably wind up turning into partial workcations, but that's cool because you're still spending time with friends and hanging out, and so that's cool. I'm glad you're getting to spend time with Will. If she was 14, I usually end up doing crazy random things. I very well could end up at Florida line or a desert island or a mountaintop. You just never know. Oh, I know. You're nuttier than squirrel poop sometimes. It's kind of hard. I don't know how Brenda does it. I really honestly don't. If I had to deal with you on a daily basis, I'd probably pull out all my hair and then, like beat you amongst your head and shoulders for a while because, or tie you down somewhere to calm you down. You're like a hamster on crack, dude. I mean, seriously. Speaking of Brenna, good morning, love. Hope you're doing well this morning, you sexy devil. Would be fun. We could film and stuff. Oh yeah, believe me, I know. I could dress up in as my old miner or something like that. Be standing back in the back of a crowd somewhere yelling at you. My hack is buffering wildly again, but I have to drag my arse to the chemist anyway. All right, Tony Lee, you take care of yourself, bud. Have a good day. Good luck at the chemist. If they happen to have something, that I can drink to make my hair grow faster, or go back to the original brown it was, pick it up for me. I'll gather some. I'll gather pennies up and send them to you to pay for it. Vacation is a cabin in the woods. If I had somebody with me to enjoy it with me, yeah, that would be the perfect vacation right there. If your life is so boring, travel People's Republic of New Jersey. You need a shrink. Only reason I'd come there, bud, is to see some of the historic sites and to visit you. Wild West town, you know. But I would drag you with me there. I'd like to see where my mom and dad's house was when my dad was in the service. I remember old 8 millimeter films of their house right on. I mean, you could look across the harbor and see New York. Um, but I remember old 8 millimeter films of my mom in her, 20s and stuff, chasing horseshoe crabs on the beach and playing with them and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the only one, probably one of the only reasons I would ever go there. Um, Today I'm taking that as a compliment. Take care, Lee. I'm good. Candy. Good morning, Bud Files. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. For those of you that don't have to work on the weekends, happy Friday. For those of you that do have to work on the weekends, na 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 boo boo. Uh, hey, Skipper. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. So I went to a shrink. He'd give me refund and make a shrink go see a shrink. That's exactly what I was thinking. When he mentioned going to see a shrink, that's what I was thinking. It's like I feel I couldn't do that to the poor guy. Next thing you know, after sitting down talking to me for 2 hours, that shrink would be laying on somebody's couch. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hey. I'm getting good at catching your lives. Good morning, Mystical. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget, guys, here in 11 days on the 14th, not Valentine's Day, March 14th, I will be over on Mystical's live stream at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, just him hauling around. So, let me see. I'm glad you're feeling better, Skipper. Nobody needs to be under the weather, especially at our age. This old nasty weather gets into us, and next thing you know, we're sicker than hell for 2 weeks, and yeah, feel like death warmed over. I don't wish that on anybody. Good morning, KG. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. hanging out. Where's the Wook? Where is the Wook? I don't see Wook. Where's Wook? Where's Wook? I seen KG. Didn't see Wook. And I mean, they come in pairs normally, so. 200 miles apart, they come in sets. Go back up here for a second. I missed a Wook. I don't know how I missed a Wook, but there's a Wook somewhere. No Wook, no Wook, no Wook, no Wook. There's a Jan. There's a Tony. There's a KG. Hanging out with, hey, Tony, I'm great. Hanging out with Wookie. Okay, you're hanging out with Wookie. All right. So you made it up. You made it up to Indiana. Good. Good, good, good. One of the things in life that I'm eternally grateful for is simple truth that nobody can read my mind. It's like I always tell people, stay out of my head. It's a scary place. Darkness. I mean, imagine riding the scariest roller coaster in the world with the devil sitting next to you in the complete dark. And that's my mind. That's my mind. I don't think they're 200 miles apart. Pretty close. Pretty close. He lives up about pretty close to midway between Indianapolis and the Indiana-Michigan line. She's clear down there in Kentucky. Pretty close. Pretty sure I'm older than you, Drew. The cold goes right through my bones and hurts my joints. It does me too. Believe me, it does me too. I'm right here. I drove down to get her. Cool. Went and got her. Very cool. Awesome. At the moment, sheesh. No one is allowed inside my head. I'd like to pick your brain a little bit. It's one nice thing about this family is everybody knows a little something different than everybody else. So, somebody like me that's a sponge and a compendium of useless shit, I like to get into everybody's head and learn something new. Found my 5th great grandfather this week. He's interred in Toronto, Ontario, born in Fermanagh, Ireland, in 1799. Very cool. Very cool. Candy gets in my head sometimes. Oh, Rusty's getting fired up. Holy crap, holy Batman. All right. 1634, First Tavern in Boston, Mass. Opens Samuel Cole. Thank God, Tony. I don't know how far into your head I'd want to get. 1791, First U.S. Internal Revenue Act, taxing distilled spirits and carriages. I never said I was a good influence. 1791, Congress establishes the U.S. Mint. Only 5 years after they establish Andes mints. I know Candy, but loves you anyway. 1801, first U.S. Jewish governor. David Emanuel takes office in Georgia. That like drinking and driving in 1791. Yep. Anybody here knows the IRA attacked Canada after the Civil War, known as the Fenian Raid? Huh. You know, I'm actually trying to get information on the Irish Civil War. There's not a lot out there about it. You know, I know it had to do with the religious split between Catholicism and Protestantism, but I'm not finding a lot on it. And I'm trying to do something on that because that was a very important time in Irish history. Well, information would be like, what the hell is she storing in here? 1803, first impeachment trial of a U.S. federal judge, John Pickering, begins. 1805, Louisiana Missouri Territory forms. 1812, U.S. passes first foreign aid bill, aids Venezuela earthquake victims. 1813, Office of Surgeon General of the U.S. Army forms. 1817, Missouri Compromise passes, allowing Missouri to join the United States despite slavery still being legal there. You know, and speaking of slavery, and I'm only going to touch on this for a second, one thing that I was looking into was the Irish slave trade. And a lot of people don't realize that the African slaves actually had it good compared to the way the Irish slaves were treated. I mean, comparably speaking, one of the reports that I've been reading through to gather information was written by a descendant of a black African slave. And they said that, our people complained forever about the treatment of the slaves by the slave owners. But if they would have known how the Irish slaves were treated previous to the black slave trade, they would have kept their mouths shut. They had it very well. 1821, American tailor and inventor Thomas L. Jennings receives U.S. patent for his dry scouring process, the forerunner of today's modern dry cleaning. I'm out of here. Might go outside, videos, some of the strong winds here this morning, or either go back to sleep. All right, Candy. You take care, sweetie. Be careful. Have a good day. And we'll catch you tonight. PPR, good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Indentured servants were often horribly mistreated. Yes, they were. But even aside from the indentured servitude, there was a very, very strong Irish slave trade where they were bought and sold, and they were treated horribly. I mean, they were beaten into servitude, they were starved, they were forced to live in mud huts with no windows. Some had no doors, a blanket hanging up over their doorway, and they were starved. There was at one point in time, there was a huge livestock slaughter to cause a famine to force them into servitude, so because they couldn't feed themselves. There was no meat available. There was nothing. So 1835, Congress authorizes U.S. Mint at New Orleans, Louisiana. 1837, Congress increases U.S. Supreme Court membership from 7 to 9. Original IRA, the old IRA, fought in the War of Independence, 1919-1921. Today we refer to that as marriage. You don't know if your wife's watching or not. That's why I'm trying to be careful about the things I say so I don't get my butt kicked later. 1837, U.S. President Andrew Jackson and Congress recognized the Republic of Texas. 1842, first U.S. child labor law regulating working hours passed in Massachusetts. 1843, Congress appropriates $30,000 to test the practicability of establishing a system of electromagnetic telegraphs in the U.S. 1845, Florida becomes the 27th state of the Union. 1845, for the first time, the U.S. Senate overrides President Tyler's veto. Can I post a link to a video that you might find very enlightening? Of course. Of course. That is one of the very, very cool things about having that blue wrench is you can post links anytime you want. You don't got to ask my permission to do it. And anybody who has not been in here that long and don't have a blue wrench yet, all you got to do is ask somebody. Ask somebody, Jan. I mean, she's our head moderator right now. I'll be adding a couple more here real soon, but just ask somebody. But for those of you that have the wrenches, you don't have to ask my permission. Just throw stuff up there. In the 1930s, the remainder of the IRA, including that part of the old IRA, organized within Northern Ireland, attempting a bombing campaign in Britain, a campaign in Northern Ireland. This is about a lady in indentured servitude. Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I don't know why, for some reason this morning, I have been on a bagpipe kick. I don't know what it is. There's a girl here on YouTube named the Snake Charmer. She does a lot of old classic folk music and stuff, but she does a lot of collaborations with people, bagpipers from other parts of the world, and musicians, and does different songs. I need to get my pipes back out, try to get the bladder fixed in them, and start playing again. It's getting to that warm weather where I can go down to the lake early in the morning and practice sitting right down there. Of course, Steph will probably enjoy not having me bumping around in the house while she's trying to sleep after working till 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock, depending upon what day it is. So I don't know. I think there's a swear word in it. Wow, very cool. My son Christopher's a fantastic piper. Your son Christopher needs to come down here and spend some time with me because I can never get the damn fingerings right. I can never get the fingerings right. Oldest known slave society was Mesopotamian and Sumerian civilizations located in the Iran-Iraq region between 6,000 and 2000 BCE. brother-in-law learning to play pipes. It was difficult. Yeah, ever since the bladder in mine ruptured uh, last year and a half ago, I've not had them back out of the bag, so I'm probably gonna have to reset the drones and everything, make sure that the reeds are still in decent shape. But I don't know, it's worth it. 1845, U.S. Congress authorizes ocean mail contracts for foreign mail delivery. 1847, damn, half that top line is gone. Go figure. 1847, U.S. Post Office Department is authorized to issue postage stamps. He played for renowned pipe band Glenn Feddick. Very cool. 1849, Gold Coinage Act authorizes $20 double eagle gold coin and the first gold Liberty coin in the U.S. 1849, Territory of Minnesota organizes. That sounded cool. You can never get the fingers right. Sorry. Especially, all 8 of them. Never seems to be enough room for all 8 fingers. 1849, U.S. Home Department. U.S. Home Department? Later renamed Department of the Interior. Gotcha. Established by Congress. 1851, Congress authorizes small U.S. silver coinage, the 3-cent piece. God, that would be handy today. Give somebody a frickin' nickel and get more pennies back. A 3-cent piece would be great. I carry one in my pocket every day. Very cool. I love the sound of someone who can actually play pipes. I started to get really good. Um, my bagpiper friend that played at our wedding told me, if you wanna learn the pipes, it's like learning the cedar flute. You sit down somewhere, you look at a tree line, and you play the highs and the lows in that tree line back and forth, and that gets you used to the fingering down here. Because a lot of people don't understand the pipe really has nothing to do with this. All you're using this for is to fill the bladder up, and your arm makes the sound with the pipes. So you got to keep, every few seconds you got to refill the bladder. But that's where all the sound comes from. And there's a rupture somewhere on that bladder up near the horn, and so I got to figure that one out and try to get it patched so I can start playing again. 1853, Transcontinental Railroad Survey is authorized by U.S. Congress. 1853, U.S. Assay Office in New York City is authorized. 1855, U.S. Congress approves $30,000 to test camels for military use. Well, that went well. Ray, please hit the line. Bruce Channel. 1855, U.S. Congress authorized registered mail. 1862, Union forces under General Pope lay siege to New Madrid, Missouri. 1863, first U.S. wartime military conscription bill enacted. 1863, Abraham Lincoln approves charter for National Academy of Sciences. 1863, Congress authorizes the U.S. Mint at Carson City, Nevada. Now there's some coins I'd like to get my hands on. 1863, Federal ironclad ships bombard Fort McAllister, Georgia. And Speaking of old coins, I was going through my collection looking for interesting pieces for the first giveaway on the new channel. I found an old Westian silver dollar that might be going up on the chopping block. We'll just have to wait and see. Gopher wood only grows in one area on the planet. That's what Noah's Ark was made of. Guess it was built in Florida. I have coins from Carson City Mint from the 1880s. Very cool. Very cool. I did not know you were a numismaniac, my friend. Let me see here. 1863, free city delivery replaces zone postage. 449 letter carriers hired. 1863, gold certificates authorized by U.S. Congress. A numismaniac. Ask, ask Skipper. He'll explain it. I don't know the actual. I know it has to do with someone who's really big into coins, collects coins, or is crazy about old coins. Skipper, what the hell is a numismaniac? 1863, Idaho Territory forms. 1863, U.S. Congress authorizes track width of 4 feet 8.5 inches for Union Pacific Railroad. I'm not. We inherited Dad's when he passed. Oh, okay. Cool. The proper term is numismatist, is the name of someone that collects currencies. Oh, okay. 1865, U.S. Bureau of Refugees, freedmen, and abandoned lands established by Abraham Lincoln to help destitute free blacks. Numismaniac is made up of name meaning crazy coin collector. Gotcha. With $10 and a piggy bank count. It is if you never have any intention of spending it. Then, if you have no intention of doing anything with it but collecting it, then yeah, I think that's a numismatist or just a hoarder. I'm not really sure. I don't know. 1869, University of South Carolina opens to all races. 1871, U.S. Congress changes Indian tribe status from independent to dependent. The value of coins depends on things like mintage and condition. 1871, U.S. Congress establishes the civil service system. If it gets full, I'll take it to the bank. 1873, U.S. Congress and government retroactively raise own salaries. Go figure. 1873, U.S. Congress authorizes Federal Department postage stamps. I got a big brass spittoon that sits on my bedside stand that I throw all my pennies and stuff into. And the way things are looking here right now, hopefully it'll be full by the time I'm 142. So I don't know how many times I've had to dip into there and roll pennies and stuff to take care of things that I needed. And, well, yeah, especially in the U.S., look for errors on the coins. They could be worth a lot more money than the face value. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Also, mint marks, having that D for Denver or C for Carson City or whatever, really heightens the value of certain coins. Not to mention, like the double-headed mismints and things like that. 1873, U.S. Congress enacts the Comstock Law, making it illegal to send any obscene, lewd, or lascivious books through the mail. Uh, how can they? How could? Well, it's for the articles. I was going to ask how they still get away with mailing Playboy and Penthouse and Hustler and Cherry and High Society, and it's because of the articles. That's how they get away with it. It's a newspaper. Should have named the Come Stop Law. That's good. 1875, U.S. Congress authorizes 20-cent coin. Lasts only 3 years. 1877, Rutherford B. Hayes takes the oath of office privately as official inauguration day falls on a Sunday. All right, mystical. Hurry back. 1879, first female lawyer heard by U.S. Supreme Court, Belva Ann Bennett Lockwood. Yeah, they're all sent in that. Well, now, um, well, not now, I don't know about now, but back in the 90s, Playboy came in a plastic sealed um, wrapper that was clear on top and clear on the bottom where the scan code was, but everything else was black. So, 1879, U.S. Geological Survey Director authorized Department of the Interior. Canada hasn't had 20-cent coins since 1859. Wow. 1882, New York Steam Corp begins distributing steam to Manhattan buildings. 1883, Congress authorizes the first steel vessels in the U.S. Navy. Who the hell is mowing in the background? Nobody mowing here. I don't know what you're hearing, bud. There's a train coming, but no one's mowing here. Hey, Justin. Hope you're doing well, bud. 1885, first U.S. state establishes a permanent forest commission. Remember when penthouse Playboys were found in every barbershop? Yep. Especially the one my dad used to take me to. That old ornery Italian that owned it always had the most up-to-date issues. 1885, American Telephone and Telegraph incorporates. 1885, U.S. Congress passes Indian Appropriation Act, Indians wards of federal government. Nope, no mower. The only noise I hear is the hum of the fan on the laptop because it gets too hot without the little blower thing underneath it to help cool it. But the fan kicks into high once in a while. There's a train and the coffee pot. That's all I hear here. 1885, U.S. Post Office offers special delivery for first class mail. 1887, American Protective Association forms anti Catholic in Clinton, Iowa. 1887, Anne Sullivan begins teaching 6-year-old blind deaf Helen Keller. You know, I know it's mean, but every time I think about Helen Keller now, especially with my wife being a big Family Guy fan, I don't know how many times I've seen the episode of Helen Keller sitting at the school with the other girls at the table, and she's just talking to them about, yeah, I got her wrapped around my finger. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe. And about that time, Anne Sullivan walks in the room, and she's like, "Hello, girls. Hello, Helen." Could be in my system, I guess, but mute the vid, and it stops. 1889, U.S. President Harrison announced the government would open the 1.9 million acre tract of Indian Territory for settlement precisely at noon on April 22nd. I'm ready for the Kalamazoo Living History Show. I am too. I am too. I'm really looking forward to it. 1891, U.S. Congress creates Courts of Appeal. 1891, U.S. Congress creates Office of Superintendent of Immigration in the Treasury Department. 1891, U.S. Congress establishes the Office of Immigration. It was so important they did it twice. 1892, first cattle tuberculosis test in U.S. made, Villanova, Pennsylvania. 1893, U.S. Congress authorizes first federal road agency, the Department of Agriculture. Good morning, Kyle. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Emma Jane, much love to you too. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good today. Happy Friday. 1899, George Dewey becomes the first in U.S. to hold the rank of admiral in the Navy. Good, brother. Good. Good. I'm glad you're doing well, bud. Got to run though. It's tax time. And I need more papers. All right, Skipper. You take care of yourself, bud. Have a good day. And if I don't catch you before, um, I'll either see you tonight or Monday, or talk to you then. 1899, U.S. Congress authorizes Lafayette silver dollar. 1900, U.S. Steel Corporation organizes 27 of the 28 species of tree mentioned in the Bible are to be found. Wow. 1901, U.S. Congress creates National Bureau of Standards and Department of Commerce. Be found in Florida. Very cool. That's kind of weird, isn't it? 1903, North Carolina becomes first state requiring registration of nurses. Then again, if you think about it, fishing, there's a lot of things in the Bible that had been modernized for a more modern world. You know, they discuss, all of the troubles of the world and everything starting because Adam and Eve ate the apple on the apple tree that they were forbidden to eat. and there are no apple trees in that part of the world. You know, it was probably a pomegranate, a fig tree, something, you know, in that part of the world. So it's kind of weird how they changed things as the Bible became printed in this country, how they altered things to make it more understanding for people. So it's weird, you know. Kind of makes you wonder, you know, what the real tree was, or the real type of wood that the ark was built out of, or you know what kind of things were really in the Garden of Eden. And it's just, yeah. Uh, 1905 U.S. Forest Service forms. 1910 Rockefeller Foundation. John D. Rockefeller Jr. announces his retirement from managing his businesses so that he can be devoted full time to being a philanthropist. 1911 First U.S. Federal Cemetery with Union and Confederate graves opens in Missouri. 1913 Women's Suffrage Procession through Washington, D.C., organized by Alice Paul and Lucy Burns and led by Inez Milholland. Ida B. Wells marched with her Illinois delegation. 1915 U.S. National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA. Um, yeah, it was created and later became NASA. NACA. NACA. Just didn't look as good on a patch, I guess. NACA. 1917 Mexico and the U.S. renewed diplomatic relations. 1917 U.S. Congress passes first excess profit tax on corporations. Excess profits. What is an excess profit? I thought anything above what it cost was a profit. What is an excess profit? And who determines what profit is excess? 1919 First International Airmail Service from U.S. Seattle to Victoria, British Columbia. 1922 WWJ AM in Detroit, Michigan begins radio transmissions. 1923 Time magazine publishes first issue featuring Joseph B. Cannon, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. Man, I bet that was an interesting issue. 1923 U.S. Senate rejects membership of the International Court of Justice, The Hague. I bet that was an interesting issue. In our interview today with Joseph G. Green of the U.S. House of Representatives, we've come a long way in 100 years. A long way. In some ways, so much better. In some ways, not so good. But we've come a long way. Trying to make them puppies last. I only got one pack of cigars, and there's only like there's one in there. Crapolis. Smoking those things down to nubs. 1931, the Star-Spangled Banner officially becomes U.S. national anthem by congressional resolution. Lyrics by Francis Scott Key in 1814. The same year, we took a little trip, along with Colonel Jackson, down the mighty Mississippi. 1931, Cab Calloway records Minnie the Moocher, jazz's first $1 million seller, or first million seller. It's a lot to make believe on the either. It is. 1933, Mount Rushmore dedicated. 1934, John Dillinger breaks out of jail using a wooden pistol. A wooden pistol. Not a very well-trained police officer there that's fooled by a wooden carved pistol. That's coated black with, yeah, what was that, hair grease or something like that. He darkened it with. (1943) F. Ryson and Cone Clauses. Harriet premieres in New York City. Clause. F. Ryerson and Con Clause. Clause. Harriet. New York City. 1944, premiere performance, U.S. Army Corporal Samuel Barber's Second Symphony by the Boston Symphony, conducted by Sergei Koussevitzky in Boston, Massachusetts. That depends on how in your backwood would feel right. I suppose. Always thought that story was interesting, though. You know, number one, how did he get something sharp enough to carve a wooden pistol? And number two, somebody like John Dillinger, at what point in time would you turn your back on him anyway? (1955), Elvis Presley makes his first TV appearance on a broadcast of radio show Louisiana Hayride. 1956, Elvis Presley's first hit in Billboard Top 10, Heartbreak Hotel. You know, it's kind of ironic, too, that we have this Elvis Presley stuff on here, because one of the first things I watched this morning when I came in the studio was a Pawn Stars episode where the lady had a 1955 contract of Elvis and for a concert he was doing. And it was amazing that just a year before he broke out and became this killer performer that everybody wanted, he was getting paid $225 a night to do a concert. I mean, even in 1955, that was only compared to like $2,000 today. So, but you figure what are bands making nowadays to do performances? Some of these bands make 200 grand just to do one show somewhere. But here's Elvis. $225. 1 year before he became a worldwide sensation. 1958, KTVU TV, Channel 2 in Oakland, San Francisco. First broadcast. 1959, first U.S. probe to enter solar orbit. Pioneer 4 was launched. In the Dillinger thing, people tend to get lax in their job after a while. It's still an interesting story, regardless of how he pulled it off, regardless of, whether it actually went down the way history documents it going down. It's still a heller interesting story. 1960, ninth largest snowfall in New York City history, 14 and a half inches. 1963, American country blues musician Mississippi John Hurt, rediscovered by musicologist Tom Hoskins in Avalon, Mississippi. Didn't Clyde Barrow do something very similar? That's an interesting question. It seems like he did, but I don't. I don't remember. It seems like I heard something similar at one time with somebody else. I don't know if it was Clyde or not. 1965, The Temptations, "My Girl," reaches number one. Has been called. He's in high winds in Missouri in the middle of all of that thunderstorm rain. Yeah, those storms crawling up through the south and the lower part of the Midwest, they look pretty bad. I mean, there's already storm chasers out in different locations waiting for tornadoes to start spawning. They were doing that last night. They were doing that, early afternoon yesterday. There's several storm chasers that do their live streams and stuff while they're chasing, and they were hitting locations yesterday, just waiting for these storms to start to spawn. You talk to your husband again. You tell him to be careful. That is some nasty poopy caca out there. He said it's hard keeping his truck on the road. I figured he was probably a truck driver. 1965, U.S. performs a nuclear test at the Nevada test site. What would the day be without a nuclear test? What would today in history be without a nuclear test? At least one. 1966, Twister hits Jackson, Mississippi 3 minutes after first sighting. 57 die. Good morning, Sonny. Hope you're doing good this morning. I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 more nuclear tests at Nevada before this day's over with. I guarantee it. 1966, WRFT, now WVFT, TV channel 27 in Roanoke, Virginia begins broadcasting. Hey, quit talking so fast. Oop. Have the hubby swing by my cabin, grab my solar set and a bag of tools. I'll give him a few bucks. 1967, U.S. performs a nuclear test at the Nevada test site. What did I tell you? 1968, Here's Where I Belong closes at Billy Rose Theater in New York City. You haven't felt so hurting as like this morning. These storms are going to be horrible. Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting. They're saying noon now. Yesterday it was supposed to start at 7, but this thing is moving slow and it's going to be nasty. 1969 Apollo 9 launches for 151 Earth orbits, 10 days. Ian, good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well this morning. Uh, 1972, sculpted figures of Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson are completed at Stone Mountain, Georgia. They really hurt this morning. My knees are aching. My knees are aching. I've been popping acetaminophen since I got up. I think I probably got 2,000 milligrams of acetaminophen working through my poor gut right now. 1973, Nancy Ford and Gretchen Cryer's musical Shelter closes at John Golden Theater, New York City after 31 performances. Uh, 1974, Lawrence Hurwitz and Lee Goldsmith's musical Sextet, starring Dixie Carter, opens at the Bijou Theater, New York City, runs for 9 performances. That one must have sucked. People's Choice Award. 1975, First People's Choice Award. John Wayne and Barbara Streisand win Motion Pictures, and Alan Alda, Telly Savalas, and Marilee Tyler. 1975, First People's Choice Awards. John Wayne and Barbara Streisand win for Motion Picture, and Alan Alda, Telly Savalas, and Mary Tyler Moore, no relation to Marilee Tyler, won for TV. 1975, Linda McCartney is charged in U.S. with possession of marijuana. Psst. That's the worst thing she's got to deal with. Now you get pulled over and have marijuana in your possession. The cop will roll one and smoke it with you. Haven't touched my tramadol for 3 to 6 months. It was like every 4 hours taking it. Wow. 1980, first nuclear submarine, the USS Nautilus, is decommissioned. 1982, Senate begins debate on expulsion of Senator Harrison Williams, Democrat from New Jersey. Yeah, well, whether it's now or later. 1985, Moonlighting. God, I loved that show. It was so much fun. With Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, premieres on ABC TV in the U.S. Good morning, Jay. Hope you're having a good start to your day, bud. Hope you don't run into any inclement weather out there today. It looks like this storm's going to miss you guys down there in southern Ohio. It looks like it's going to come up, hit us, and then start moving, make like a loop, and then go hit the northeast, so or the far eastern part of the country and up along the northeast. So hopefully it misses you guys. You don't got to deal with that crap. Conundrum, good morning. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hey, I just saw something there I missed about picket lines. Picket lines. 1989 machinist strike Eastern Airlines. Pilots honor picket lines. That's what it was. 1989, Robert McFarland gets $20,000 fine, 2 years probation for pleading guilty to withholding information from Congress in the Iran-Contra illegal arms for hostages affair. Wait, even left the station yet. I'm gonna get that storm. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're getting ready to get it. It's just south of us. It's still in Indiana, but it's creeping its way up into Michigan, and we're supposed to get nasty hit. 45 to 60 mile an hour winds, up to 7 inches of snow, 7 to 10 inches of snow, where we're at here in southwest Michigan, and then tonight and tomorrow, lake effect snow. So, we could have another 16, 18 inches of snow on the ground by Saturday night. Who knows? You just never know with lake effect snow. Short run today. Rodney King riots, 1991. Los Angeles police officer severely beat motorist Rodney King. The beating is famously captured on amateur video and later leads to riots when the police officers are acquitted. Go figure. It's coming north from Kentucky, so it'll get them. 1991, United Airlines 737 crashes near Colorado Springs, kills 25. 1992, U.S. President George H.W. Bush apologizes for raising taxes after pledging not to. I'm on the very western edge, yeah. We're getting 5 inches of snow. The good thing about snow this time of year is that it don't stay around long. That's very true. That's very true. Our temperatures for the next week, as of yesterday when I looked, I don't think we're supposed to get above 41 degrees, something like that, for the next 5 days. But our temperature was 34 when the wife left. 35 when the wife left at 8:30 last night. Midnight when I went to bed, we were down to 29. So it's going to be chilly. In 1998, Bill Gates testifies at Senate Judiciary Committee about Microsoft dominant position in the software industry. Microsoft. Kind of makes you wonder if he named that company after his pee-pee. 2002, 33rd NAACP Image Awards. Ali wins Outstanding Motion Picture. I can see Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, but can't see 6 inches in front of my face. Figure that out. Hey, speaking of Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, have you guys been watching Venus and Jupiter in the western sky? 2 nights ago, I took the daughter out there to show them to her. And, they're like this far apart. And then last night, I took her back out to see them again. And they were like that. And I told her, I said, before this conversion is over, they will actually be so close, they'll look like one star in the sky. They call that the interstellar kiss. She's, believe it or not, really interested in it. So, go figure, a 14-year-old that's interested in planets moving through the heavens. I mean, I didn't think if it didn't have to do with a first shooter game or killing a dragon or something like that, she'd be interested in it. But it's my kid. She's weird. What can I say? First child. Let me see here. There's no ice in my yard. Still here from last two snows. God. 2013, a 2-year-old U.S. girl becomes first child born with HIV to be cured. Very cool. I saw snow. I piled up through winters, linger until May. I have to. 2016, 11th Republican presidential candidate debate hosted by Fox, held in Detroit, Michigan, and nobody was shot at. 2019, multiple tornadoes tear through Georgia and Alabama, killing at least, what? Wait, what? Hold on, wait. Oh, okay, that's a run-on from the next. That's a run-on for the next thing. I started to say it killed 232,000 people. It's like, oh wait, no, killing 23. Then in 2019, South something. Okay. Yeah, I know. I wanted to take pictures of them too, but my stuff's not strong enough either. 2019, SpaceX's Dragon capsule successfully docks with the International Space Station during its demonstration run. My boss told me that after late May, things don't pile up like that again. Yep. 2020, powerful storm producing multiple tornadoes rips through central Tennessee, killing at least 25. It was his idea. Yeah, but you know what they say about poopy caca running downhill. Your boss may come up with the bright idea, but after it don't work, it's always somebody else's fault that it was done in the first place. 2020, Super Tuesday, biggest voting day for Democrats selected their presidential candidate, revives Joe Biden's campaign. He wins 9 states while Bernie Sanders wins 4, including California. Did you hear he's going to run again? He's already made the decision. Biden's going to run again. If he remembers to even, fill out the paperwork and stuff. Who knows? 2020, U.S. Federal Reserve makes its largest rate cut in a decade. Short-term interest rates of 0.5% to protect economy against COVID-19. The fair to pile was at 18 to 20 feet. Sounds like the when I used to live down in Indiana before the wife and I met. We had that real big snow about 8 or 9 years ago, and they went through and they done all the the roundabouts and stuff in the housing development. And when you rounded these corners on this place, you had these big areas where people could park along the road, and there was still plenty of room for the cars to get around. The plow trucks would come through and pile these huge piles of snow right in the middle of those corners. So you had to go around one side of this mountain to go, and then you had to go around the others. It was hilarious. Some of those things, the kids were still playing on those snow piles in May. 2021, Great Apes San Diego Zoo reported giving experimental COVID-19 vaccine designed for animals after earlier outbreak among the gorillas. San Diego, California. 2021, U.S. President Joe Biden criticizes lifting of COVID-19 restrictions by Texas and Mississippi as Neanderthal thinking. I'm proud of him composing a word like Neanderthal. I mean, the man has a has a natural speech defect. He stutters. So I mean, honestly, seriously, I'm not making fun of the man. I have respect for him because you know, much like who was it, Prince Philip, had a natural stutter and never, ever, ever stuttered when he gave a speech. I will fill the papers probably. And that's all, folks. Thank you, Rusty, for another interesting today in history. Tildar, what is up, my friend? Good to see you, bud. Hope things are going well for you out on the West Coast. We had a 5-acre sales lot that I kept clear. Oh, wow. Just popping in to see the morning take. You're seeing it. I stood up here and try to be eye candy and let everybody else talk. Every once in a while, I'll throw in 2 cents and man, I've been loving your little shorts and stuff that you put up from your visit to the con out in Portland. That was yeah. I know we've not had a chance to actually talk in a while, but my beard got about down to here, and I laid down one night, and no matter how I brushed it, no matter what, I could not. I would either start to sweat, or it would start itching me, or it'd get in my mouth or in my nose or something like that. And I got up. The wife was asleep. I got up, went in there, took out the old wall shears, cut it all up, trimmed this back in, and she woke up the next morning and she looked at me like, "What in the Sam hell?" I never had a problem with the food thing. When I ate chili or something like that, I might get a little bit of drippage here and there, but I always went and cleaned the extra sauce out. I'm not much of saving my food for later. Has a tendency to just not taste right. So, I did. I ran across some folks on YouTube about 3 days ago, and they do this little skit thing called Epic NPC Man. And one of the skits they done, I seen it yesterday, and I almost died because it made me think about you. Um, Instead of going and buying a potion to do something, um, the guy decided to make his own. So instead of using spring water, he just used old dirty rancid pond water. Um, and he was, going around, going through his inventory, grabbing different things to throw in this portion or this potion. And it finally came down to what was it? It was frog goo. So you could imagine, what he done. He found a bullfrog, and you know that was the frog goo he put in it. And then it said it wanted goblin something, and he reached down on the ground and picked up goblin poop and stuck it down the potion, shook it up, and drank it, and it like severely screwed him up. And then the very end, when they're doing the outtakes and stuff like that, they're sitting here, and it's basically what it is it's like a little piece of chocolate they squeezed into a little poop shape, and he they're sitting there and they're eating it, and it's like I didn't realize goblin poop tasted so good. So I was actually going to message you and say, hey, does goblin poop really taste good? I've shared you out, Drew, to a channel I go to. The guy's Vietnam veteran on hospice. Oh, wow. Cool. Thank you, Sonny. I call my facial hair Flavor Saver. So mine was slowly turning into that, and it's like, nah, I'm, yeah. Sounds like a cousin of mine made split frog soup. Do they just spit easier in the small pan on the fire if you split them? A split frog soup. We'll have to sit down and talk about goblin recipes sometime. I mean, that's all there is to it. Guys, channels, numbers have flew up. Goblin mines, huh? Don't touch them myself. Yeah, you got to be really careful when you're on an adventure, stepping in, goblin mines or orc mines, or they're like sometimes, when there's large group, you're on a forced march or something like that. They just drop along the roadside. You just gotta be careful. I didn't know Kermit the Frog was treated like that. There was Miss Piggy. There were those very, very few times Miss Piggy couldn't talk because she had a frog in her throat. Right. Goodness gracious. My God, guys, we're down to 8 minutes already. Holy crap, holy Batman. Time flies when you're having fun. And it's really sad too because, no matter how hectic things get here, I may cut out on an evening live stream or once in a while when I really have to, when there's a problem with the Wi-Fi or something like that. I will use my data to make sure that if at all possible, if I have data available or anything like that, that we just can't stop the morning streams. I have too much fun with you guys in here. I need to look at that link again because Justin was telling me the other day that the link was wrong on the date. Um, that Wednesday morning chat was good. I really enjoyed that. A Living History Trade Fair 2023, new date. Get off my screen. Get off there. New date April 1st and 2nd. Justin was telling me that the Kalamazoo Living History Trade Show is I think the 15th and 16th of March. So I need to get on there and look at that to see because that's next weekend. So next weekend after next. But I need to check that out. That's just weird. Yeah, Tildar, I wish you could make it up to that. That would be very interesting. I really wish you could make it over for um, the Niles Ren Fair that I do security for every year. Not only do we never have goblins there, now we have fairies galore that pop up, and every once in a while we'll have um, something. We had a Dragon Slayer show up last year. He was really cool, really awesome dragon armor. Um, but yeah, pack your bug spray because those fairies they can be annoying. I got some pictures of a couple of them here, a couple 3 or 2 years ago. They were cute, but annoying, buzzing around and stuff like that. Wanted to hang out in my camp, and I was old enough to be their dad, so try to stay away from those little buggers. Wednesday morning chat was good. We got two more posts. Um, Trade fair. I know it's in April. Can you post a link for that? I'll post a link for the. Let me see here. I don't know if one of you mods can look up Niles Michigan Renaissance Fair. Um, I would appreciate it and put the link up. I can't do it right now. Um, Mostly because of the device that I'm working on right now. Tiny, tiny. Like I told you guys, I went from a 36-inch monitor that I didn't have to squint to see to a 10-inch monitor with a 9-inch screen. So yeah, it's a big difference. But when your computer takes a poop, you do what you got to do. What you got to do. Let me see what I can find here real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to share it with this ancient device, but move that out of the way. REN. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. It is May 20th and 21st. Yeah, if you just type in Niles, Michigan Renaissance Fair, um, it is May 20th and 21st at Plym Park, 401 Marmont Street in Niles, Michigan. All of the information is right there. And then right below the scheduling thing, you will see a website for City of Niles, Michigan, Niles Renaissance Fair, City of Niles, Michigan. And then right below that is Niles Renaissance Fair, Niles, Michigan Facebook page. So yeah, very easy to. Awesome, Sonny. Yep, I just popped back on the screen and saw it. Let me see here. The Antikythera mechanism. Hmm. Let me get back up here so I can. Speaking of technology, I did grab a fix for the sound issue. Hopefully, our next chat will be more friendly and audible. Very cool. Very cool. That's good to hear. Oh, it's time. Ancient devices and computers. Oh, it's true. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, this thing's probably 6 years old. This little teeny tiny uh, book. It's a Fujitsu Life Book T series. So, I went from a standard desktop computer to, I mean, this is half the size of my daughter's laptop. I mean, literally, I'm sitting here holding my hands corner to corner on it, and that's how wide it is, and the screen is even thinner than that. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Antikythera mechanism. Hmm. All right, fishing. We'll see you later, bud. Take care of yourself. Have a great day. Oops, 10 o'clock. Well, so everyone have a good weekend. Stay safe. Oh, most definitely. Of course, like I said, right now, since the wife's working tonight, I plan on being on here tonight. No big thing. It's Friday night. The kid will probably have company over tonight. They'll be in the room hooping and hollering and carrying on and wrecking stuff. And then her friend will go home early Sunday morning, and Ash will spend the day cleaning. So, but I plan on being here tonight. No big deal. I don't know what we're going to do. Have no clue. Don't know what we're going to do. I've been trying to grab a guest up for um, all week, and I've not got any responses back. I guess I need to quit aiming so high. We all know how people with big channels are. They don't make time for little channels. So, not all of them anyway. Um, Antikythera mechanism in its ancient Greek device, it computes when the solar eclipse is supposed to happen very precisely. First known computer. Mule powered. Wow. Crazy. If you shovel, Drew, be careful. Oh, believe me, I will. I will. I actually woke up with very little pain this morning in my back. It's all in my knees and everything. So, um, I'm not going to do anything to strain my back anymore. Those 4 days were just absolutely hell. Trying to do anything around here, walk, stand up to use the toilet, anything was just freaking terrible. Solar eclipse is supposed to happen on my birthday. Very cool. Thanks everyone for letting me pop in and derail your conversation. My friends, you're always welcome. It's like I always say, once you're here the first time, you are part of the family. So, I need to expand my family out. We have got black, we have got white, we have got brown, we have got yellow, we have got white as snow. It's about time we add a little green to our family. So you can pop in anytime you are not out on an adventure. But yep, it is 4 minutes after, guys. It is past time. So, it is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. You take care too, Tildar. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. But you guys all have a great day. Don't forget, I will be on again tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe I'll have a guest. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Sean, you take care too. Jan, Tony, Tildar, Sonny, whoever all still hiding here in the shadows. You take care. Have a great day. Try to enjoy your Friday a little bit. And as always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God love you. God bless you. We do. We'll catch y'all later. Have a good day.